Milestone is here repairing our air conditioning, and Alan can't wait to tell everyone about it.
Milestone fixed our AC. Milestone fixed our AC.
We fix, install, and maintain your AC. Call Milestone today for the Milestone tune-up for just $129.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Untitled Chatter. I'm here with Cameron on September 28th. How you doing today, Cameron?
I'm doing well. Big weekend just had. Cowboys got the victory. Beat up on them Eagles.
Rodgers showed him that he's still the best. 37 seconds, no big deal.
Dak could do it. But other than
Mike McCarthy couldn't.
No, he's well. Okay, that's true.
He would have lost all his
That's
time.
true. Dak could, McCarthy couldn't. But other than the Cowboys whooping up on that ass, I went 5-1 in fantasy last week, so
Yeah,
I have no complaints.
I think I
Well,
went.
I have one complaint, is that I lost that one game.
Yeah.
So I didn't go 6-0.
I think I went 7-4 or 8-3, something like that.
You got too many leagues to count.
Yeah.
It's not good.
All I know is in my big leagues, I have scored the most points and had the most points scored against me. Worst luck ever.
In the 2 leagues we're in, you are. Never mind. I was gonna say you're 0-3 and 1-2, but you're actually 2-1 in
Yeah.
our friend league.
But in our other league, I have literally scored 150, 160, 140, and have lost every game.
Sounds like your team's just not good enough, you know.
I don't know. I literally have like a top 3 player in every position, besides running back.
Well, I'm 2-1 in that league, so I'm not in
It's
a
the first
position
of the
to-
trophy. I was
It
actually
is.
talking to Eric today,
Uh-huh.
and so he won the last year before me.
Right.
And last year he scored the most points in his playoffs.
Did you really?
Yeah. So I told him I'm gonna put the trophy back in his house. Get that thing out of here.
That's fantasy football for you. Obviously it matters how much you score,
Mm-hmm.
but there's still the luck of what opponent are you going against.
Honestly, I would put winning a fantasy football championship up there for one of the hardest things to do. There's so many variables.
It is. It really is. Because like I just said, it's not just you. You have to be lucky. Like, you could score the second most points in a league in a given week, but if you're facing the number one, it doesn't matter. And that's, part of what makes it frustrating, part of what makes it so fun.
Yeah, it's a gamble.
Yeah.
So, we are missing Brooks today. I'm sure y'all can see that. So, we miss you, Brooks.
No cardboard cutouts yet.
Not yet. We haven't made enough money.
Plus, this is only the second time someone's been out, so if it were a regular occurrence, we'd probably,
Probably
expedite
just
that.
replace the seat.
Yeah. But.
So, we did have some key injuries.
Mhm.
I know Dr. Brooks isn't here, but I'll make up for it.
He's out looking at his patients right now.
Yeah. We had obviously
The big one.
CMC going down. That hurt me tremendously in my league with the 14 teams. So there's nobody.
Yeah.
Luckily, I did trade him away. I know it was not easy.
Well, is Chuba available?
I traded him too.
Oh, you had McCaffrey and Chuba?
Yeah. But I got Rodgers. It was the one I had Zach Wilson. And Zach Wilson got me negative points 2 weeks straight, so I was like, I got it. So you lose a point every sack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, was not
That's a
fun.
Crazy league you got there.
Jets offensive line.
Yeah. That's something that you definitely have to take into consideration.
So that's why I sent you that trade this week, and I just had to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I told you there's no way.
Yeah,
but-
so I got, to go back and recap that, since we're talking about McCaffrey's injury.
Mhm.
I got Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. Yeah, here. So this is my first time ever playing this league, too. It's brutal.
I
14 teams and 4 IDP players.
That's so much. The biggest league I'm in is it started out as a 16-team league, but it's a guillotine league. And for those of you who don't know what a guillotine league is, the team who scores the fewest points in a given week, you don't actually play you don't actually play an opponent. It's just whoever scores the fewest points in a given week they're done for the season. Their entire roster gets dumped to waivers, and so that started out as a 16-team league. But like I said, I mean, we're in week 3. We just lost the third team.
Yeah.
So now it's technically down to a 13-team league. So even like that's
survived.
Yeah. So I got 2 weeks. I tell you, 2 weeks in a row. I had the second fewest points.
Really?
I'm skating by. It's tough because you get like $150 for the entire season to bid on the free agents that get dropped to waivers.
Yeah.
And I'm still in like a feeling out process of, figuring out how much money to spend.
When to spend your money. And
when to spend my money.
You're a cheapskate in real life. So I'm sure
That's true. You're not wrong. So it doesn't help going. I'm like, I got $150. I gotta keep it. That's not a lot of money. I gotta keep that for the whole year. But 2 weeks in a row being that close to being knocked out, I'm like, man, like.
Who's your running backs?
So that my running backs are Antonio Gibson and Mike Davis.
Yeah.
And then my receivers are D-Hop and Robbie Anderson, Marvin Jones. Keep in mind, 16-team league, right?
I would wait until like one of the big names loses and just spend all your money.
Well, for this week, one of the big names is Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, but
Obviously, he was out last week, so the guy who had Dalvin Cook just got screwed.
do you buy him and stash him?
I mean, it depends on. So I guess we can kind of transition. Well, we haven't fully finished talking about CMC, but Dalvin Cook's still out. It depends on how long, like Dalvin Cook is going to be out for.
Yeah. So
I'm pretty confident in him not being out long.
I just think he's gonna be out again.
At some point, that is a scary.
That's kind of why I traded. So I found my trade. So I definitely want to keep getting updates about that league, though. That sounds like a blast. I'm doing that next year.
Well, as long as I'm still in it, I'll let you know.
So I traded. I think I won this trade. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you gave up on CMC too soon. But in my situation, I had Zach Wilson as my starting quarterback. I had two quarterback, 14-team league, and sacks lose points.
Yeah, you just can't have that.
I traded Zach Wilson, Christian McCaffrey, and Chuba Hubbard for Aaron Rodgers, Mark Ingram, and Jamal Williams. I think that's.
I mean, you basically only got Aaron Rodgers out of that.
Well, Jamal's been putting up some points.
They have been doing I don't want to say like a split. I can actually pull it up right now. His snap count has increased every week.
Yeah.
It started out 35, 39, and 49. That's the percentage of snaps.
He has 2 touchdowns.
Last week he was in there for 49% of the snaps. Only thing there is DeAndre Swift has been doing really well this year.
Yeah.
He's catching the ball in the backfield. He's running well. He's got they pretty much got like a thunder and lightning type backfield back there, right?
Yeah.
DeAndre Swift is Swift, no pun intended there. And then Jamal Williams is a power back. He's big and he gets those tough yards. But like I said,
Rodgers.
Out of those two,
obviously, Zach Wilson has got to be negative.
But yeah, Zach
negative
Wilson
6 points in 2 weeks.
Yeah, in a regular league where you don't get minus points for sacks, he's been bad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been bad in that in a normal league, and then you compound that with the sacks, you can't have a subpar quarterback like that.
Yeah. So, anyways, move on.
Well, sorry, real quick. McCaffrey being out, they're saying that they're not going to put him on IR.
Yeah, I don't.
They're going to keep him week to week.
I think it's a lot worse than.
Well, are you just distrusting of what they're saying? Like you don't believe them?
I think they just don't want to accept it yet.
Well, because as the rules are now, you can put a guy on IR and they're only out for, I think it's 3 weeks. So obviously
Which is supposed to be 3 weeks. That's why I'm confused.
Right. I don't know. It is a weird. I
Maybe
I might be wrong
to do
about the 3 weeks. I know at the start of the season, if you put him on IR, it was only 3 weeks. I could be wrong about in season how long they're out for.
Well, it could have a lot to do with CMC saying, "Hey, I want to be back on the field."
True, but those soft tissue injuries, they linger.
So I traded him.
They linger. You can't do anything about them.
And it's a hammy.
Yeah.
If anyone knows anything about hamstrings, they do not heal fast.
No.
And they re-injure quickly.
Yeah, that's the big issue. Is even if you feel like you're healed, all it takes is one, wrong move in a game. And basically, that's what happened in this Thursday night game.
It looked like he stutter stepped.
I thought he did.
It's because his hamstring.
Is it?
Yeah.
That was so weird because he played it off really well. I thought he was doing a stutter step.
Well, if you watch the game, the announcers even said it.
Yeah. And I guess on the replay it was clear, but then he still ran. I mean, he was still able to run out of bounds.
Yeah.
But all that to say, Chuba Hubbard is likely available unless you're in a 12, 14, unless you're in a deep league.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard is likely available. I think he's a must add. He's got to be top of the waiver wire in most leagues this week. If you're at the bottom top of the waiver order in your league, put in a bid for him. He is the hands down number one waiver claim for this week.
It's definitely handcuff week.
Yeah.
Leading on to our next injury is Dalvin Cook. If they still haven't come out with any news on his injury, the ankle's still bothering him.
Yeah, no updates.
But his projections are still high. So that's what's confusing.
Well, it's because he's not ruled out for this week, so.
I imagine we'll hear something about him maybe Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, it'll be something that you're gonna have to monitor during the week to see what he does, if anything, in practice. So again, that's gonna be something that you're gonna have to monitor as the week goes on. I would imagine they'll keep him out of practice all week, anyways. It's probably gonna be something where he's questionable all week. Come Saturday or Sunday, they're gonna be like, "Oh, it's a game time decision."
Yeah. So I would definitely go pick up Madison.
Well, he's gone after last week in all
Yeah.
leagues. If he's somehow available in your league,
I have him.
you should have already scooped him up.
And
He had a really good week.
I did not start him because I didn't have room, and then CMC went down.
Well, I wouldn't have started him over CMC either, so
Yeah.
you didn't miss out there. But I mean, Alexander Madison, he looks like a Dalvin Cook.
He
out
really
there.
runs just like him.
I mean,
Hits the holes, cuts
they're
like him.
replaceable. The only difference is Dalvin Cook obviously has that big play explosive ability, but everything else, he does really well.
Mm-hmm. And then our last injury, our last key injury, I know there was more injuries out there, was A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get a chance to watch that game. Well, do you even know what happened?
I know it was early in the game. He also had a hamstring issue. He injured his hamstring early in the game. They say he's week to week. He's questionable already coming into next week. They've already got him designated as questionable for the game. So again, I think it goes back to what we were just saying about Cook. If you have A.J. Brown, you're going to have to monitor the injury reports that come out. If you like to do the research, go look at each day at the Titans practice, see what they have for there. Because every team has to do an injury designation at practice.
Because of betting, right?
That's it right there. You have to announce if they're being held out, if they're a full participant, if they're limited, whatever they did at practice, you have to submit to the injury report. So Dalvin Cook, A.J. Brown, definitely you're going to want to monitor those this week.
So if you have Julio, it might be a big week for you.
Yeah. I would say, let's see who they play next week.
Jets.
Oh, gosh. Well, then Derrick Henry. I mean, play Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's going to go off this week. Huge week for Derrick Henry. But, yeah, other than that, I would say Julio Jones is going to be, if you've got him. He's kind of been a flex play for the first few weeks of the season. But for this week, if A.J. Brown's going to be out, definitely Julio Jones, start him.
Yes. All right. I think that's all we got for injuries.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 of those, or honestly, I would say 3 of those are handcuffs. I wouldn't really say Julio is a handcuff, but
No, his ADP was way too high to be considered that at all.
definitely going to be a big week for Julio though. So the lead on, before we get into our main segment, we're going to talk about some of the top performers of week 3. for each position. So the first top performer we have, Cameron, is going to be, is it Josh Allen?
It is Josh Allen. That's our quarterback that we're going to go with.
He went off for me. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
He had a rough first 2 weeks, but then again, they were going up against good defenses in both games. Well, at least at the time. Pittsburgh in week 1 and then Miami in week 2. So he had, for Josh Allen, he had, pedestrian games. He didn't break 300 in either, and against Miami, he didn't even break 200.
Yeah, trust me, I know.
Not to mention in the Miami game, they were blowing the Dolphins out, so it's like
I have
you
you
weren't
like
gonna
8
throw me away.
weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But this week was back to 2020 Josh Allen.
I loved it. It was awesome.
In standard scoring leagues, he had 37 points. He had,
5 touchdowns, baby.
358 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns, added a rushing touchdown in the fourth quarter just to make sure that the people who have him won their game
Well,
this week.
the lead off my luck. I still lost.
Oh yeah, he still lost in one of them.
52 points and still lost.
Yeah, well, your team's bad. But
Yeah,
he has a really favorable schedule going forward too. So I expect big numbers. At least the next 3 weeks. He's got Houston, Kansas City, and Tennessee coming up in the next 3 weeks. I think he's going to have 3 more big games.
Bills Mafia loves that dude.
They should. He's great.
Side note, is there any update on the Bills stadium? Like, I feel like if Buffalo leaves,
No, they're not leaving.
that like the mob will kill them.
No, they're not leaving. They're just trying to get some more money out of the city.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They'll never leave.
San Antonio's looking for a team.
Well, it was Austin that was the rumor that came up, but it literally was like, what was it? It said something like Buffalo's looking at Austin as a potential relocation city, and
Dude.
everybody went nuts.
Yeah,
They're
that
not
would
gonna-
not happen.
No, they're not. They're just, like I said, they're just trying to get some more money. It's a negotiation. They're just trying to get some money out of the city. They want the city of Buffalo to pay for the new stadium, and so you have these things come out.
I agree. So yes, Josh Allen, huge week.
Huge game. And side note on that, what the heck is going on with Washington's defense?
I was gonna say the fun digs. It's the fun digs, but I have no idea. Washington D looks bad.
They were what, 1, 2, top, guaranteed like top 3 in terms of defenses, like going in the draft.
Yeah.
Top 3. Currently they're the 31st. They're the second worst ranked defense after
I don't know.
3 weeks.
It probably doesn't help that their starting quarterback went down week 1, but I mean Tyler's been doing good. I have no idea. I guess we'll see how bad they are if Atlanta just goes off this week.
Yeah, because
They played some decent teams. It's not like they've.
I mean, the Giants one was whenever I really got concerned. When the Giants put up 29 points on them.
Daniel Jones has. I can't stand Daniel Jones, but he hasn't looked terrible.
Well, the football team, Washington's given up 400 yards, 390, and then 480 in the 3 games this year. That's not. I mean, everybody was thinking that they were going to be shut down.
Well, they were
defense.
top 3 in fantasy. Yeah.
They've only forced 2 turnovers on the year, and that was in the first game of the season. They haven't forced a turnover in the last 2 weeks.
I'm expecting Cordero Patterson to have a break. He's had 2 solid games in a row. I'm expecting to have a breakout game this week.
I don't know. I really want to say that they're going to bounce back against Atlanta because Atlanta has not. I mean, at least to me, Atlanta looks awful.
Oh, they look terrible.
But, so yeah, like you said, this is going to be a good kind of test to see what the heck Washington's about because they face some tough offenses after that. They've got New Orleans, Kansas City, Green Bay, 3 straight weeks after that. But hey, Cowboys fan, I love seeing that. So
They do have the toughest schedule in that division.
Yeah, because they won the division, so they're facing the division winners. So hey, I'm not going to complain about that. I like to see my division opponents lose.
Yeah, same.
But that was just a little side note on the whole Josh Allen having a big game.
Yeah, me as a Packers fan, I love seeing Dalvin Cook go down.
Well, that's messed up. I don't want to see injuries.
I just say go down. So, quarterback Josh Allen, wide receiver, my boy, go Pack go. Wide receiver number 1, Davante Adams. That man is a monster. 18 targets, 12 receptions, 132 yards, and 1 touchdown. Those last 2 catches, he got knocked out cold, and he came back and had 2 game-winning catches.
If you want to talk about that, he had no business being in that game after that hit.
He's a baller. You know, Dez would have cried. And
There's no way that he should have come back into that football game. Not to mention, he only missed, what was it, 2 plays?
Snaps. Yeah.
That's bad.
All I know is the man,
That's bad.
The man cares about Aaron Rodgers.
No, like, of course, he's going to want to go back in the game. I'm saying, like, how does the league let him 2 plays after getting knocked out cold on the field, and you're just going to go back in the game?
How many fingers they're holding up?
That's...
I got scared. I even got so scared that I went and picked up Lazard right after that.
Immediately after that.
Immediately after that.
I saw, when I texted in the group, I said, oh, he's dead. He literally...
He looked like he's paralyzed.
Luckily, you saw on the replay, it wasn't helmet to helmet.
It was still targeted.
It was straight to, like, the upper chest.
Yeah.
But my goodness, did he get lit up.
I really did go pick up Lazard. I saw him laying on the ground and said, oh, no.
Well, because I remember, who was it against a couple years ago? The Thursday night game. Was it the Bears?
When he got knocked out cold?
Yeah.
In the back of his helmet?
That was
he just laid on the ground.
That's what it made me.
Yeah.
That's what it made me think of. I want to say that was 2 years ago.
It was
against the Bears.
Yeah, that's why Rodgers had such a bad year.
He was sad for his friend.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 18 targets. That's insane numbers.
34 for the season, 25 receptions.
He's
only 1 touchdown though.
He's a. I mean, not to mention, he's built just big. He's listed as 6'1", 215, but I don't know if it's because he's got a big old head. Doesn't he look so much bigger than 6'1"?
He's wide. His shoulders.
Jeez, he is.
I guarantee you his wingspan is unreal.
I always forget it until I watch, until Green Bay's on TV. I'm just like, man, Devontae is huge.
He makes Amari Cooper look small.
Amari Cooper's a big guy.
Yeah, but Devontae just looks, I don't know about it. I know what you mean though.
Like I said, he got a big old head.
Go Pack go.
He got a big old head.
That's why he was able to play.
When he's on the sidelines, when he's with his helmet off. Just next time they're playing, just look at it. He's got a big head.
Joe Pack go. That's my man.
Yeah, and that final drive was
unreal.
Great by Rodgers.
37 seconds.
I knew he was going to do it, but I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
Easy 2 passes down the middle of the field.
What are the Niners doing? That was so bad. They just and it was both to Devontae, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right down the middle.
Just terrible.
They gave Rodgers every opportunity.
Like I said, I knew they scored too early. Right whenever he went in for a touchdown with 37, I just knew it was too early. That's why normally I would say something in our group text about a team losing. I didn't even say anything because I was just like 37 seconds. I knew it. That's way too much time for Rodgers. What are you doing? You can't. When you're going up against a Rodgers, a Mahomes, a quarterback like that, you can't just play to take the lead. Tom Brady, you have to be conscious of the clock, right? You can't just go down, score, be confident that you took the lead with however much time left and be like, okay, our defense, let's hope they make a stop. They're not going to. They're not going to make the stop.
Way too much time. They could have easily kicked that field goal with like 10 seconds left.
They were doing a good job of going pretty slow, but yeah, you cannot leave like I said, you cannot leave these quarterbacks. You have to play under a different set of rules whenever you're going up against these teams. I know it because Rodgers has done it to the Cowboys 3 times.
I think Rodgers done it to like every team in the NFL.
He's done it to us the most.
Good,
I know for sure. And so that's why I say you have to play a different game. You cannot just be comfortable taking a lead. You have to play the clock. That's why I freaking side note, I freaking loved what the Chargers did. Everybody's killing the Chargers for not burning the clock and kicking a field goal. They wanted the points. They wanted the touchdown. He missed the extra point, and then I got scared. I was like, oh, crap, now a touchdown beats you. But get as many points as you can against these good quarterbacks. Sorry, that's just a little tangent, a little side note I went off. Because
He's
I'm
not even a
so...
Chargers fan.
I am a Chargers fan. They're my second favorite team.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing infuriates me more than bad clock management by head coaches. And
Mike McCarthy's the worst.
I was gonna say, and we just happen to
That's
have
probably-
the absolute worst one on in the NFL on our team.
To be honest with you, that's probably why Rodgers is so good at last minute drives, because Mike McCarthy put him in them so many times.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't.
Mike McCarthy, I used to remember watching him maybe like 4 minutes on the clock. Next thing you know, 45 seconds.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we in? You still have all 3 timeouts in
Yeah.
the bag, and you're just like, what are you doing?
That's honestly why probably Rodgers is so prepared in those moments.
I don't understand. Like, obviously, these guys know, like, yes, they know more football than me. Obviously. They're a head coach in the NFL. But, I mean, I just feel like, you know, guys have been playing, we've been playing Madden since we were kids. We know how to work the clock.
Yeah.
It's not hard. Just hire somebody to be a clock management specialist, and when the clock's under 2 minutes, have a direct line to the head coach and say, hey, call a timeout. Because, and Mike McCarthy infuriates me because that's so bad.
One thing I can say, I am going to brag about Rodgers a little bit. The guy, it amazes me. Every year, and honestly, I get worried still to this day, but the guy does not care about timeouts. He wasted their last timeout because the third down, he didn't like the defense they were in. And just timeout, fourth quarter, he knows like, oh, I might need to save that for later on. He just... He does not care. He says, I don't need him.
Because, obviously, he can thread the ball anywhere. Most teams, if it's, you know, for that situation, it's, less than a minute, you need a field goal. They're going to be playing the sidelines. They're going to force everything to the middle of the field.
He just doesn't.
Well, Rodgers is good enough to thread the needle for one deep pass down the middle and then go up quickly and spike it. Well, now you're already, you know, say at the 50-yard line. Now you just need 1 or 2 more short sideline passes. Those are not that difficult if you're a good quarterback.
It amazes me every year. Like this weekend, it was 3rd and goal. And he lined up. Didn't like the defense. One timeout left. I was like, man, we got to save that timeout. Like, we got to get this done. And he just calls it. I was like, well, there goes our last chance.
Well, you'd rather get the 7 there.
Yeah, but he does it every time. That, and if you're a 12th man on the field, you're done.
Oh, yeah. Which...
I don't know how he does it.
Well,
he's so good at it.
It's something that I don't understand how other teams aren't as good. It seems like all you have to do is have a code word for if the quarterback sees that they're, you know, rushing guys off the field, just have one code word where the center just snaps the ball. Yeah. You don't even have to have a play set. It's 12 men on the field. You get 5 free yards. Like, why does every team not have that? Or maybe they do, and it's just nobody's as good as Rodgers at seeing it.
It happens at least 6 times a season.
Yeah, they're really good at it.
So, I covered our quarterback and wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cameron is going to cover our running back. And tight end.
Yeah, our running back, we had a couple options here.
We did.
We went back and forth on it, but
Cameron was.
I overruled it. It was between Najee Harris and Kareem Hunt.
So why would you overrule Kareem Hunt?
I refuse to say anything good about that man.
I think he's the number 1 running back in Cleveland.
Number 1, he's a terrible human being. All right. Number 2, he's not better than Nick Chubb. I don't care. I do not. I'm not supposed to hate people. I don't hate anybody. I strongly dislike Kareem Hunt. I've got a nickname for him that is not suitable to be said on air, and so I won't say it, but that's what he is. He is the nickname I have for him. I can't say it on air. So, we're going to talk about Najee Harris. I mean, first off, Pittsburgh's offense is bad. And as a
Big Ben, dude. Oh,
did you see the video? God, that might be the single funniest thing I've ever seen.
The guy, he needs to hang up his cleats right now. I told y'all before this season started that he is washed. And
We all did.
And he needs to retire.
Me, you, and Brooke sat here and
Why
said
would they not draft a quarterback?
they're loyal to Big Ben.
For what?
He's got him a
He
couple
also has
Super
done
Bowls.
things off the field that.
Yeah, I don't like
But
Big
the
Ben.
guy-
I think he's terrible. He sucks.
The guy looks like a left guard.
He's even slimmed down this year too.
Literally rolled right and fell down.
I've never seen anything like it. I've never.
The turf.
he- It's like he couldn't even pick up his feet. He just tripped into
We
the
used to
ground.
say that in baseball and call it the turf fairies got him whenever he.
Jeez,
Sniper.
So bad, man. But anyway.
Has anyone made that GIF yet or GIF? How do you say it?
Oh yeah, I've seen
I say GIF.
it's Jif.
Yeah. So
That's what I think.
have they made one? It's like someone shooting a gun and he falls down.
I'm sure
They need to. Cause
there's one out there, but for Najee Harris, like I said, as just strictly a runner, it's still tough. I mean, that Pittsburgh offensive line cannot run block to save their lives.
how many yards did he have?
Running the ball, he had 14 for 40 yards.
That's what scares me.
The problem is on the season, he's averaging only 3.1 yards per carry.
Their O line's so
That's
bad.
really bad.
Why would
That's
I
really
tried
bad.
to tell everyone, not y'all, but people I talked to, that their O line is bad, but everybody had their O line ranked high. Like
No,
even
their
on-
O-line's bad.
But even on like NFL Network, they're talking about how they had the top 5 power rankings for O line. And
Yeah, well, what they do well is they don't give up a lot of sacks.
well, that's because Big Ben.
But a
looks
lot of
like
that's
one of them,
Big
so they
Ben.
get confused.
Right, so on these, big shows, they're just going to go based off stats like that. But for Najee Harris, like I said, he's only averaging 3.1 yards per carry on the season. That's not good at all.
So would you say
But
smoke,
But
fire, what?
for this week, he had 14 receptions. He had 19 targets. That's more than your boy Devontae Adams had.
I know.
And look, as long
That's
as Big
also-
Ben cannot throw the ball further than 15 yards, I'm going to love Najee Harris in these PPR leagues. 14 catches out of the backfield is insane. That's insane.
Oh, he beat Kamara's record, right? Or did Kamara have 15?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it
I didn't
was
see that
14
one.
or 15.
He had 14 carries, 14 catches, just to show you.
And
Did
they still lose?
They still lost because Pittsburgh's not good. They're not a good football team. I don't know how they beat Buffalo in week 1.
Joe DiCario, if you ever listen to this,
Oh, is he a Steelers fan?
Steelers
The
suck.
Steelers are
I
not a
ask
good
him
football team.
every time he walks by. I ask him, "When are y'all gonna move on from Big Ben?" He just smiles.
There's not only that, but they're easily in my top 5 or maybe bottom 5 of teams that I would want to watch a game.
Because of Big
Their
Ben.
games are so
Well,
boring. I can't do it.
But they could be so good if they just go get a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like Mason
I
Rudolph,
agree.
they had a Super Bowl caliber team last year, and Mason Rudolph just said, basically, I'm just gonna sit down, relax, get sacked every other play.
It amazes me that they.
Well, why don't they just go start Haskins?
That's no. Haskins is gonna have to prove
But he
it
can
in
move, he's
practice,
mobile.
in training camp. He was bad bad in Washington.
preseason.
I think,
Preseason looked clean though. He looked good.
and there was something I've seen. I think I don't know however many years back it goes, but he was like the worst starting quarterback. And I don't know. I can't remember in the past however many years.
They gotta do something.
Big Ben, he's done.
Washed.
But Najee Harris, as long as Big Ben cannot throw the ball deep, Najee Harris is. I still believe in him. He's a great running back. He has all the tools you want as a running back.
My boy
They
Aaron
just have a
Judge
bad-
hit a bomb.
We're talking about football here.
Well, I'm just letting y'all know. Side note: Cameron is a Red Sox fan. I'm a Yankees fan, and Red Sox lost today. And that's it. So, anyways,
They don't want to
keep
make
going
the
about
playoffs.
Najee.
Like I said, he's got all the tools to be a great running back. He can do everything. He's got speed, he's got quickness, he's got lateral movement, he's got power. He looks like when he catches the ball in the backfield, he gets ahead of steam. When I was watching that game, the end of the game when they were trying to come back, and he just wants to run you over or jump over you.
You know who he
He
reminds
runs
me
the
of?
ball tough.
Who?
Yeah.
Who do you think?
Zeke?
Yeah.
That's right. Didn't I say that in the group? Or I feel like I said that. Or maybe I thought it. Because I agree with you.
He runs so much like.
I think I
Year
said
one
this
Zeke.
last week. I think I said it off podcast. I said he reminds. I feel like I've said this.
I don't know.
Before.
You just don't
He
even
reminds
credit.
me. No, because I agree with you. He looks like prime Zeke did, and I
Hopefully
love
they
that.
don't pay him.
And that's really, really good. It's just he has a garbage O line.
Yeah.
And it's sad because in our dynasty league, I took Najee Harris in the second round. I was expecting big things.
You don't have nothing to worry about that. Dynasty wise.
I mean, if they never fix their O line, how long can I count on him to get all these catches out of the backfield? I don't know.
The good thing, the good news is when Big Ben's washed, they can just move him to the line.
I think he'd be even more. Yeah, he might be better.
He might be better. He already knows how to chop block. We saw that this weekend.
Couldn't be a worse quarterback, that's for
He
sure.
basically chop blocked the air when he made that pass.
Anyway, let's stop that. Like I said, I hate the Steelers. I've always hated the Steelers. Now they're one of the most boring teams to watch in the NFL. They piss me off. I cannot watch their games. But I have to because I have Najee Harris, and so, whatever.
You haven't been over here yet either. Sunday, you haven't been over here at all on Sundays. It's weird.
No?
This Sunday I don't have anything, so you can come watch football all day.
Well, here's the thing. I've got Red Zone. I've got a couple devices.
Yeah.
But you have Sunday Ticket, right?
Do you have friendship?
You have Sunday Ticket?
Yeah, I have Sunday ticket.
Okay. I just don't like
It's
driving
fun.
over here.
Oh, you should probably move.
That's a good point. Anyway.
Tight end. Top tight
So,
end.
tight end.
Do we even have one?
Our top tight end for the week is
Obvious.
Dalton Schultz.
Oh.
This dude came out of nowhere. 6 catches, 80 yards, 2 tugs in the beatdown of Philly last night.
But honestly, Philly played awful, but they did shut down the best wide receiver. I take it back. One of the best wide receiver corps in the NFL.
They didn't.
Cooper did nothing.
They didn't shut them down. They played their defense to stop
That's what I
them.
mean.
That's what their focus was.
I would call that shutdown.
I could go. I mean, we could talk about this forever. The Eagles were playing too high safety.
Fly, Eagles, fly, JR. Fly, Eagles, fly.
The Eagles suck, JR. I'm sorry, man. I'm not sorry.
I
know what it feels like to have a bad football team to root for, so I do hate that for my friend. But this the Eagles, so I don't care.
You know what my favorite part about it is I literally am a Cowboys and an Eagles fan. Any conversation we have, just because I know it just grinds everybody's gears. Like yesterday, I was a huge Cowboys guy. Today, fly, Eagles, fly. Because the Cowboys lost me my fantasy football game.
It's all right. If you want to root for a bad team, go ahead and do it.
I would just say, I wouldn't say a bad team.
They're a bad team. You can say it. They're a bad team. They have a bad quarterback. Unproven quarterback.
Unproven, not bad.
He looked bad yesterday.
But I guarantee you this, you put Jalen Hurts in the Cowboys system.
We're not doing this. Okay. I'm serious.
We're not going to go down a rabbit hole.
We're not.
Well, we
doing
are.
this
One
on
of these
air.
days, we're going to have conversation.
Mainly because I don't want people to think you're dumb. I'm protecting you.
No.
Yes, I'm protecting you.
Just so you know, side note, before we move on to our top, we already did tight end. It doesn't really matter. I am going
Cowboys.
to actually, as a host, start having podcasts on the side, and it's just going to be football conversations, and it's going to be stuff like that, and we're just going to sit here and debate.
Oh gosh, we're turning into First Take, aren't we?
It's going to be fun, because I love it,
But we're not gonna be clickbaity.
but it's going to be like conspiracy theories, but football.
Does Aaron Rodgers care about his team?
Yeah, and like, what if Packers didn't draft Jordan Love and drafted, Jalen Hurts? You know he was drafted before Jalen Hurts?
Well, yeah.
A Utah State quarterback. No offense, Ken Myers.
Well, Jalen Hurts hadn't everyone gets caught up in the fantasy stats. Jalen Hurts has been a good fantasy quarterback.
I'm just saying.
Other than that,
would
he's
you
not
pick
been
a
good.
Utah State quarterback over a SEC proven quarterback?
I would if his tape was
Oh
better.
my gosh.
If his tape's better, what do you want me to do?
I don't know.
Draft
All
a
I
guy
know
who I
is,
don't see
honestly,
better
I would
talent?
rather draft Ken Myers over Jordan Love.
You don't even know that. You never watched Jordan Love.
I watched Kent my whole life.
Yeah, but you never watched Jordan Meyer. What's his name?
Jordan Love.
Jordan Love. But
Jordan Love shows no love.
Anyway, we're not getting into more
But
Jalen
I was just
Hurts. I
letting
can't
you know.
do any more Jalen
But that's
Hurts
gonna
talk.
be. We're actually gonna have a show Friday night, hopefully.
Yeah, we have too many idiots in our group
And
text.
it's gonna be literally me
Jalen
and
Hurts
Cameron
defenders.
going at it about difficult conversations.
I promise you, that's not going to be one of them.
No, one of them is gonna be
It's not. We're not
how
doing it.
y'all
Okay.
picked up Ezekiel Elliott and paid him $40 million, and then give Tony Pollard half the snaps.
That's okay. I've pushed that aside. I'm not worried about the money anymore. Our offense is loaded, and we're paying a running back $20 million a year, and yet our offense is still
And
as
yet
good as
Tony
it is.
Pollard still has 70 yards a game.
They're a good 1-2 punch. I like
Whatever.
it. So Dalton Schultz, 6 catches, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kind of back to what you were trying to say, that they shut down the receivers. They were scheming their defense so that they would not get beat by the Cowboys receivers. And Kellen Moore said, okay, you think we can't dump it off to our tight
Don't
end?
even give Kellen Moore.
You think we can't run the ball up the middle for 160
You
yards
really
on
think
you?
Kellen Moore calls that offense?
100%.
Dak Prescott.
Yes, he
calls
gives
that
Dak the
offense.
freedom at the line to call what he wants, but
Kellen Moore was an awful NFL quarterback. I guarantee you he does not call all those plays.
how many good NFL quarterbacks are now good NFL coaches?
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly. Who are the best offensive coaches? Sean McVay didn't play a lick in the NFL. Kyle Shanahan?
Is Sean McVay an offensive coordinator?
He calls the plays. He runs the offense.
All right, then Mike McCarthy's a great.
No, stop
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Stop it. No, stop it. Everyone knows he runs the offense up there.
I loved it though yesterday when Dak literally told Zeke to sit your fat ass on the sideline. I'm gonna keep playing my game. Remember he
Because no, he didn't want the defense a chance to sub.
yeah,
They
or
were
he
going
just
no
didn't
huddle.
want to hear him mouth breathe in the huddle because he's so out of shape. Dude, every run he has, he calls for help. He does this every run.
Did you see the video of him twerking in the huddle at the end of the game?
But he's always mouth breathing so hard, man.
He's a big boy. You got to. He looked good yesterday.
He did. I give him that.
Yeah.
I
he looked
traded him
really
away
good yesterday.
maybe a tad too soon, but I did trade him for Devontae Adams, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a fair trade.
All right, so
Done with our top performers.
done with
of the
that.
week.
I honestly I think this is going good though.
2 hours later, we're done with our top performers.
That was Andrew Segrees.
Thanks, Elvis.
Yeah. Shout out to Elvis. His ball runs a lot, by the way. For a second shortstop or second base shortstop. Yeah.
Well, his team's not going to make the playoffs, so.
Where's he at? The Angels?
Oakland.
Oakland. That's sad.
Anyway, what are we off to next? What are we doing now?
So, main segment of today is that's supposed to be a panic button. I don't have one yet.
Breaking our mics over here. I think you
Should-
can break my mic.
Should we panic or should we
Stay patient.
stay patient? Download the app Calm
Oh, there you go. That's a good app.
and ride that wave, like Little Baby would say.
Little Baby?
Yeah.
I don't really listen to Little Baby.
What? He's like top of the game right now.
I know. I just I hear he's really good. I hear he's a dope rapper.
Don't please don't. Off the record, please don't ever say that again.
I know what I say.
As you're wearing a Star Wars shirt,
I
you
say
said
things.
dope.
I say things that get the most laughs, and I know what plays.
Yeah, that's why you said Dak's a good quarterback.
Press the button. That's a womp womp joke, right? No, that button. Gosh dang it, we need to get you off the controls.
Man, this is a good one. I like this. But yes, panic button. Boom.
Who's our first?
First one. Yours truly.
What up, Twitter world? It's yours truly, O.J. Simpson. Sorry.
AJ Brown.
Oh gosh, not him.
Do we panic?
So with
You gotta
him,
scratch your head for that.
that's a literal head scratcher right there. Yeah, that's how tough this one is. Not to spoil my answer, but for now, I'm going to be patient with AJ Brown. I think with that offense, they just started off really slow. Okay, and the Seattle game, Arizona week 1, they got killed, which you'd think them being down that much, they would be throwing the ball. He's still getting, when he was out there, when he's healthy, week 1, 8 targets, week 2, 9 targets. Those are good. I like those. Those are good numbers to have. That's good to see. He's still getting the volume that you want to see, even with, we all expected him to have a little bit of a downturn with Julio coming onto the team. Last year in PPR, A.J. Brown finished as the 12th best receiver in all of fantasy. He has had 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons. But with Julio coming in, we expected that to
I really
drop a little
don't
bit.
think it's Julio at all. That's what I'm worried about.
I think also Tannehill hasn't been what Tannehill has been in prior years.
Not looking too hot.
Yeah.
The new offensive coordinator, I don't know.
The one thing that does concern me is in the Seattle game, obviously Derrick Henry went off in that second half, right? So they were just relying on the running game because Seattle couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
But if you watched this past week, Minnesota lit up that Seattle defense through the air. Kirk Cousins had an incredible game, and yet against Seattle, A.J. Brown only had 7 points.
But the thing that's scaring me, Cameron, is the targets.
Well, he's got the volume.
Week
but
1, 8 targets.
8 targets is good.
But
That's fine.
49 yards. That means
It's
they're
because
not throwing deep to him anymore.
It's the catch percentage. 8 targets, only 4 catches. So that's only 50% percentage.
But is this new
catches.
offensive coordinator? I haven't watched him that much this year because I have Derrick Henry, but not like in my big leagues.
Yeah.
I have him in our league with our friends, but it's almost to the point where I don't need to watch him because I know he's going to do good.
Yeah.
Are they doing as much play action?
That I don't know. I also
You haven't watched him
I
either?
haven't been watching.
But he's one of those
Tennessee
players where I watch the guys where I think like, hey, if I watch them, maybe they'll play better. It's a weird theory, but
I agree with you. When I'm sitting there watching Red Zone, and like when there's no team in the red zone, they'll like go to a good game. I'm like, just put on, if I've got a guy in that game, like, okay, now they're gonna do good. Now they're gonna go off.
I have Sunday tickets. I pick and choose, and usually I watch like if I have a stack, like Josh Allen and Diggs. I watch Buffalo every Sunday because I have 2 players.
Yeah. I don't like. I know Buffalo's great. I don't like Buffalo that much. They're
What?
okay.
It's
Yeah.
like probably my 3rd favorite
I
team.
know. I don't like watching.
Tennessee's
them.
my 2nd favorite.
But yeah, well, Tennessee. The one thing about A.J. Brown is he's always had really good run after catch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why he'll have some low catch but high yardage games.
Yeah.
But this year, obviously, that's not happening.
I'm worried.
Right? So like last year, he had some games where it was 6 for 153, 4 for 101. He had a lot of games where he was getting 20 plus yards per catch.
Yeah.
This year, that's not happening. He's getting 12, 14.
Well, I have a theory behind it. So, obviously last year, Corey Davis was there. Pretty humble dude. He's not a number 1 receiver at all, by any means. He is in New York.
I see where you're going.
And I think Tannehill is getting a lot of pressure about having to share the football. Like last year, it was either play action, A.J. Brown deep, or get the ball to Henry. Now it's play action, let's check by 1, let's check by 2, and whoever I throw it to, and then the other one's going to complain.
Well, I mean, he's out targeted Julio.
I know you saw the controversy with Julio like week 2 on the bench. Even the coach came out and talked about it.
That's just because they were losing.
But it's still Julio. Julio is used to being the guy. Last year, Ridley stole it. And now he has this young buck, A.J. Brown, still in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're friends. I know A.J. says he came to Tennessee because of him. His tweets and all that. But
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
deep down, Tannehill is torn, like, who to feed the ball to. And I'm not saying that it's because of someone being mad, but it could easily just be Tannehill second-guessing it because now he has 2 options. Overthinking it.
I see how you could think. I think Tannehill's enough of a veteran that that should not be an issue with them.
But he's never had 2 weapons.
I mean, Corey Davis was supposed to be,
Yeah.
Corey Davis over there. I think Julio really should be helping him because
Yeah.
you're not going to be
He's trying
seeing
to
that.
force it.
Like I said, he's been out targeting. Through 2 weeks. He had more targets than Julio in both games.
Yes.
Obviously, last week he got hurt early, so there's that. But I think it's one of those things where you just have to wait it out. You just have for me, I think it's just a slow start to the season. I'm still high enough on AJ Brown that I'm not panicking on that one. So I'm being patient with it.
So you're not panicking, and guess what? I'm not panicking.
Good.
So you out there, you listeners, if you take anything we say for granted, I would take that one. Do not trade him out of freaking out. He's going to be fine.
You could buy low.
I would
Definitely buy low on
yes.
him if you think that's possible.
Obviously, like I said, I think Tannehill's playing a big part in that.
Tannehill has not been.
But I think
great.
Tannehill will figure it out.
I hope so.
So
I
do
like
not
Tannehill.
panic. AJ Brown is still AJ Brown. Just like, honestly, you can panic about Diggs too, but that's for another day.
Nah.
But
Who's our next one?
our next one will be Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
I know Cameron wears this one deep.
Yeah.
Because he actually has the man. Would you take him 2nd round?
I did take him in our Yahoo League. I took him 2nd round, I think. Yeah, because I got Henry round 1 and then Taylor in round 2, which I thought was a steal.
We're taking Henry.
So, Jonathan Taylor, gosh, there's some good things to like, and there's some things to really dislike with him. There is. So, for starters, the good thing I like is last week he had, against Tennessee in week 3, he averaged 6.4 yards per carry.
He did.
That's really good. Those are really good numbers. The only downside to that,
Carson Wentz?
he only got 10 attempts.
Yeah.
And they were within striking distance the entire game. The game was close the entire way. So again, that goes back to, I wasn't watching the game. I didn't go back and watch. So I don't know exactly why he only got 10 rushing attempts in that game.
Mm-hmm.
But that is definitely a concern.
It's almost like Marlon Mack might be making a comeback.
It's Naheem Hines. So there
He didn't
again,
get a touchdown this weekend.
concern number 2, snap percentage.
Mm-hmm.
Snap percentage is big for running backs. I look at this a lot for running backs to determine how good they're going to be. Week 1, he had 55% of the snaps. Not very good for a number 1 running back. Week 2, 45. Week 3, 48. So 2 weeks in a row, he played less than half of the offensive snaps.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Also, to add on to that, Cameron, week 1, 17 attempts. Week 2, 15 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
Week 3, 10 attempts. Slowly, and that's a big gap, 15 to 10 attempts.
And they've been close in that's what I don't understand. They've been close in every single game. The only thing that saved him in week 1 was that he had 6 catches for 60 yards. They actually they threw the ball to him 7 times out of the backfield.
Yeah.
That's what saved him in week 1. But other than that, week 2 and week 3, it's not been good. He hasn't scored a touchdown yet this season.
Hines got one. I have seen people
Trust me, I know.
picking up Marlon Mack, so I don't know if there's some undercover information about him.
Marlon Mack also
Did he get touches Sunday?
No, Marlon Mack.
Is he one of those?
Wait, hold on.
Hold up.
This is
I saw something on NFL Network today.
He's
saying there was
asking for a trade.
Yeah,
He asked for a trade.
There was a past 1,000 yard rusher. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I didn't actually. I had to go back to work. I was watching during lunch, and that's what it is. Then Marlon Mack asked for a trade, huh?
Yeah. So they're saying no trade is imminent, but he's likely going to be inactive going forward. But yeah, so
That's why.
Yeah. So he's not seeing any
That is
time.
not who I expected.
He's only played in 1 game this year.
I really thought that it was going to be like.
I know you love Marlon Mack.
I love Marlon Mack. I drafted him last year.
Yeah, but so Naheem Naheem Hines.
2 weeks in a row.
I know, Naheem Hines is the one to worry about.
We're gonna have
because
a bloopers scene with you.
Snap percentage for Naheem Hines this past week was 56%. So he was on the field more than Jonathan Taylor.
Is he available in our league?
And which?
The good league, Eric's league.
No, he's not. He's taken up. So that for me, again, concern number 3. Last week, Jonathan Taylor was out snapped by Naheem Hines.
Yeah.
Like, for example, not Jonathan Taylor. Najee Harris has been averaging 95% of snaps a game.
Jeez.
That's a number 1 running back.
Yeah.
That's a guy that you want on your fantasy team because he's going to have the volume. He's going to be on there every snap of the game. Jonathan Taylor, 2 weeks in a row, less than 50% of the snaps. If you can see where I'm going with this,
Whoa.
panic! I'm not happy.
Hey, to let y'all know, Cameron is panicking about Jonathan Taylor because he's trying to trade me in right
Panic on Jonathan Taylor. I do not like this. One silver lining. They've got 6 straight weeks of facing bottom 15 rush defenses. Now, they've already played 2 of their first 3 games. They faced bottom 15 rush defenses, and he still has done bad. Next 6 weeks in a row that he's going to have bottom 15 rush defenses. So we'll see.
Panic.
I don't like it. I still, even though I am panicking, I still am holding out hope that
He just tried to trade me the guy.
I did just try to trade you the guy.
And Derrick
But
Henry.
this thing happened.
Oh,
what is happening
sorry,
over here?
I apologize, listeners. I got a little too close.
But this happened last year too. I was big on him as a rookie last year. I took him in our rookie draft that we had last year.
Yeah.
He was kind of solid for the first half of the year and then faded. But then at the end of the year last year, he really kicked it on.
Yeah.
And he started to get.
That's the only reason Eric even almost made playoffs.
Was Jonathan Taylor. Well,
he still missed playoffs.
last week of the year, he had 250 yards rushing. But, hey, what do I know? Let's just give him 10 carries in a game.
Who would have thought?
What do I know? I mean, it's not as bad as what Philly just did with Miles Sanders.
Yeah, we had him on here, and then we realized that Eagles aren't worth talking about.
Yeah, obvious panic on Miles Sanders. I mean, come on now. 2 carries?
The next panic, or...
Did you give your answer? Sorry?
I'm not going to panic about Jonathan Taylor.
I am, man. I just gave you a lot of reason to panic.
The only reason I'm not going to panic is because Hines can't run the football.
I know.
So,
but
he's already a receiver in a running back's position.
It goes back to, I've got a philosophy that I try to, hold, but it can be very difficult. Get the guys who are not in a running back by committee.
I feel like every freaking team
right. No,
it's so frustrating.
No, you're absolutely right. But even, top 10 running backs in fantasy may still have a running back by committee.
Even the Cowboys have it now.
Apparently.
It must be just a thing to do.
It's
man.
the new NFL. You have your running back and the passing running back.
My question is, in the future of fantasy, for us young bucks, obviously like Stone Age people, do we start stacking running backs?
Like just doing team running back instead?
Yeah, like Kareem Hunt and Chubb. Like they're both putting up RB1 numbers.
Nah.
Pollard, same thing.
It would have to things would have to really
question,
change.
Right?
Things would have to really change in the NFL to where every single team
almost
has 2 running
I would
backs.
say 60% of the teams do. I mean, granted the Packers got rid of Jamal, but last year.
Yeah, definitely. Luckily.
Chargers this year.
And it's always funny because how many players where you're like, get this stupid committee out of here. They are a number 1 running back.
Exactly. So when do we start just drafting those?
I just happen to always, this goes against what I just said as a philosophy. Like on my team in our league, I've got Nick Chubb and Antonio Gibson. Chubb,
which I would say Washington is a 2 running back.
Which I'm not going to get. Nick Chubb, who I believe is the best running back in the NFL, the best pure runner in the NFL.
No doubt.
But yet,
Kareem Hunt puts up 100 yards.
Kareem Hunt,
but that's what I mean. Like, for example, Buffalo, Singletary and Moss.
They have a weird situation where they have like 2 number 2s.
Yeah.
They don't have a single number 1, you know.
But like, honestly, if the Vikings weren't so high on Cook, I think Madison and Cook would be the same thing.
That's just because they have an old man coach.
Yeah.
I think they have an old man Mike Zimmer as their coach. He doesn't really care about
But
the
almost
running back.
every
He wants a
team
workhorse runner.
Besides, like, on top of my head, obviously, I'm not looking at it, but Pittsburgh has 1 running
Pittsburgh,
back, and
Minnesota,
Denver
like you just
slowly
said.
going into 2 running backs.
Yeah.
Lions 2 running backs. It's unreal. And you
Yeah.
know who started it all, right?
Carolina
Carolina.
with their oh my gosh, why am I blanking on their names? D'Angelo Williams and who was the power back? Yeah, whatever. But you're right. I mean,
I was gonna say Carolina or Chiefs, and now the Chiefs don't really have that. But
they even do. Well, I
Daniel
know.
Williams or
I know this.
D'Angelo.
I'd have to double check because I know Clyde had a good week, but even Clyde only had 62% of the snaps.
But it's wild. I mean, I think the future of fantasy is we're gonna start
I will-
stacking
yeah.
running backs.
For the Cowboys, I mean, Zeke still had 70% of the snaps this week. So even though, like you said,
It's
they have been
slowly-
slowly going to, but he's had at least 70% of the
Pollard's
snaps
more
in every.
explosive.
Yeah, Pollard's a home run threat in that
Yeah.
lineup. There's no doubt about it. But yeah, I'm looking through this. I can see all the top running backs in terms of points scored for last week. I'll just quickly run through. This is going to be their snap percentage by their team. 95, and then it drops. So 41, 70,
Yeah.
59, 56, 57.
That's RB1s.
Those are everybody who had the most points last week. That was their percentage
Yeah,
of snaps.
that's crazy.
It's a tough
Slowly
time.
getting into this.
It is a tough time for running backs.
That's why I draft wide receivers every year.
Yeah. Well, but you want to have those number 1 running backs. It always seems like whoever
Yeah,
has the
it's tough.
best running backs end up, like last year, if you had Derrick Henry, you probably were in your championship.
Yeah, I was.
So.
So our next panic button. So panic on.
So I'm panicking on Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I'm not.
You're not. We're both being patient on A.J. Brown.
Yes. My panic button, which I don't have, so I'm happy. Mike Davis. Panic.
Yeah, I would definitely have to agree with you on Mike Davis.
And guess who I do have?
Cordero Patterson.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to start him this week. He's had 2 solid weeks on my bench, and I am predicting a breakout week this week. I don't know what it is. I just have a feeling. Washington D's been struggling, and I honestly, you know why I like those so much? I have a bye week receiver. Put Patterson in.
Yeah,
Bye week running back.
that's a
Put
lot.
Patterson.
They need to designate him as an RB.
No.
I don't know what his snap
Don't you
percentage
do that
is
to my fantasy roster.
by position right now, but yeah. So Mike Davis,
Panic.
I had him as a sleeper pick this year. I thought he had the potential to be
Dude,
really good.
The guy
in the
had
offense.
15 attempts for 50 yards. That's not an RB1.
In week 1.
Week 2, 12 attempts for 50 yards. Week
3 was 12 for 50.
Yeah, week 2
was 9 for 38.
It's panic mode.
He 4 plus yards per carry is average. That's not anything to be concerned over. It's again back to the snap percentage.
0 touchdowns.
75 week 1 down to 64 week 2. Last week was at 60. So they don't.
Cordero Patterson.
Yeah. So they.
Freak athlete.
He's gotten now, and he's had a lot of, like you said, he has not reached the end zone, so that's got a lot to do with him not having big numbers.
But he's not a passing running back.
He kind of is though. Like so, week 1 he had 5 points out of the back receiving. Week 2. Sorry, 3. He was week 1 3 for 23. Week 2 was 7 for 25, and then week 3 was 4 for 20.
We also got to put that in perspective that Atlanta has not been ahead,
which is kind of a good thing, but also, yeah, he's better as a pure runner in that offense. But I would agree. I'm panic on Mike Davis too.
I did not draft him. I did not fall into that.
Luckily,
No,
I
I didn't.
traded him. I did draft him in our dynasty league. That's
Who did you trade him for?
what did I traded him? Not straight up. It was in a package deal.
You bundled it?
It was. Oh, I'm not gonna say this on air. Mike Davis and Terry McLaurin for Odell and Antonio Gibson.
Cameron.
I thought Antonio Gibson. I was lied to.
Odell.
Well, Odell and Mike Davis were the throw-ins.
Mike Davis
It was
is
really-
like throwing. Didn't you take him like 4th round?
No. I took him in the 7th.
Oh, but still.
No, that's not bad.
Oh my
It was really a Terry for Gibson straight up swap.
I would
because
much
I
rather have
wanted-
Terry.
I wanted a better running back.
Yeah.
I was sold a bill of goods. Everything I saw was that Antonio Gibson was gonna be an every down back. And what do you know? Through 3 weeks, freaking what's his
JD,
name?
baby.
Freaking JD McSuck. You know what? I got a good nickname for him too. I got a good nicknames for these running backs I hate. But yeah, Mike Davis,
Panic.
not looking good.
I think we all agree on that. Last one.
Who was our last one that we had? I do actually. Oh, I do remember now.
This guy has broken a lot of hearts. He's also
The
a Falcon.
yeah, I
He
just never realized
has
we did 2 Falcons.
basically stunk it up like your armpits would on a hot
Oh.
summer day in
Nice little
Texas.
pun. The rookie phenom.
Kyle Pitts. I am so glad I did not give in to this. Obviously, Dynasty, not panic.
No, of course
Not
not.
panic.
Of course
But
not.
this year, 1 year leagues, panic. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
Obviously, this late in is kind of late to be
I'm not
saying
sure
this,
I
but
understand.
quit with your TikToks. Or
No,
that
this is
Siri?
actually my watch. And it's basically saying, like, yeah, Kyle Pitts blows.
But yeah, obviously everything we've been saying is based off of 1 year. If you're
Yeah,
in
Dynasty,
Dynasty League,
no
no, I'm not
panics, you
panicking
don't
on
panic.
Jonathan Taylor
Or AJ Brown.
No, of course not. This is just 1 year leagues. So for Kyle Pitts, I thought,
Bad.
especially in that offense, that he was going to
It's-
light the
It's
world
honestly just
up.
natty ice.
Natty Ice
Him
sucks.
and Big Ben are, it's time to just, the revolving door.
The-
It's time. They both did draft quarterbacks.
The biggest, well, I was gonna say, the biggest mistake, I said it on draft night, was Atlanta had to. They had no other choice but to take their future quarterback.
Yeah, and why would you take
They had the
I
number
love Kyle
4
Pitts,
overall pick.
But why would you take tight end?
Atlanta's a bad organization. Let's just be honest. They make bad draft picks. They could have had
Sorry,
CeeDee
Drew.
They could have had CeeDee Lamb. They took a corner who's not been well. They could have had Trayvon Diggs. They didn't take him either.
Did they really?
Yep. They had the pick before the Cowboys. Obviously, last year in round 1 and 2, we got
I
CeeDee.
love
Everyone thought they were going to take CeeDee Lamb. They did not take CeeDee Lamb. They could have had Trayvon Diggs. They did not take
What
Trayvon
quarterbacks
Diggs.
did they pass up this year?
Justin
Justin
Fields,
Fields,
Mac Jones,
Mac Jones,
and then
Trey Lance,
No, Trey Lance was 3.
3.
So it was Justin Fields and Mac Jones were really the 2. I thought for sure
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson went number 2. Atlanta had the 4th pick.
That's right.
So 1, 2, 3 quarterback. I was saying on draft night, I remember watching. I said, "There's no way they don't take Fields." Even though everybody had been saying they love
How
Pitts.
old is Matt Ryan? 38?
30, no, 36, 37, 36.
Wow,
35.
He's struggling, man.
No,
No, he's older.
34.
He's older than 34, man. The guy looks like it's. I'm about to Google that. Keep going what you're saying.
But yeah, I thought there's no way that he's 36. That there's no way that they don't take a future friend. Like, how often do you get the number 4? I mean, well, I was gonna say how often do you get that, but if they keep playing the way they do, even though they just won last week against another
is
bad
36.
team,
He looks way
they're gonna
older.
have another top 5, top 10 pick. But how many drafts do you have the caliber of quarterbacks that you had in last year's draft?
Not many, but they're all sucking. So
That okay?
it might have dodged the bullet. Honestly.
I think that it's just early, and we may have gone back to where quarterbacks need to sit. I'm still way
But
too early to say
Kyle
that.
Pitts.
Trey Lance has looked
Panic.
good. Trey Lance has looked good whenever he's been in there.
He has
Obviously, very limited time.
Zach
Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence have struggled.
Kyle Pitts has 3 receptions last game. 3 targets. My bad.
Yeah, that's not
That's
good.
not a.
Everyone was expecting him to be
overall,
a 100-yard-a-game guy.
Yes.
Yeah,
He has barely over his only game he had over 50 was week 2. He had 73 yards.
And
After
only-
that,
no touchdowns either. I wish I should have looked. I wonder what his red zone targets are right now. Because you got to figure he's 6'6".
I'm sure PFF has it on there.
You got to figure that he's had some. That was what you thought his bread and butter would be coming out of college. He's 6'6". He's a red zone
So what
target.
is
Last year
going
at
on?
Florida, he had 12, 13 touchdowns, something like that.
I think it's time to panic though.
He currently is the 15th ranked tight end in fantasy. It's not bad.
But tight ends have
The tight end
been
crop is
struggling.
always
Even Darren Waller has had a bad
the
year.
tight end crop is always iffy. It's always weird. But Kyle Pitts still has so much upside. You know,
So you were telling me you would start him? He's on your bench.
yeah, he was my starter. It's because I have
Because you
Hawkinson.
panicked.
Because I have Hawkinson. Hawkinson's been great.
I'm saying panic just because the way the Falcons are looking right now.
I am going to say stay patient for now.
I'm sure they can draft Spencer Rattler next year.
With him, I would say, yeah, but Spencer Rattler's not even.
He's awful.
He's not looked good this year. His own fans were telling them to bench him.
Is it Chase? Backup Chase
Oh,
Jefferson or
I have
something?
no idea. I haven't been able to watch any college football yet
Yeah.
this year. So, like I said, for now, I'm still staying patient on him. Ask me again next week. Ask me again 2 weeks from now. I might have a different answer for you, but
I'm
for now,
panicking.
that's fair.
I don't even have the man and I'm panicking.
15th tight end. That's not terrible.
Yeah, it could be.
It's not bad. So
It is
That,
if you have to.
I've got Hawkinson in the league that I do have Pitts, so I'm not worried at all.
Yeah. So I'm actually trying to trade for Pitts for you. So
Anyways, okay. Oh, you're gonna have to. I don't sell low on guys. You're still gonna have to pay premium for my players.
Whatever.
I'll give you Derek Henry.
I tried to get Henry from you. He blue balled me.
I know. I came up with the
Offered
trade
me
and then
Henry and I
declined
turned it
it. That's what I do, man. I like messing with
So I would say that this week's episode was lots of key information.
a long one. Hopefully, y'all listen through. Appreciate you if you did.
We are going to try and push out more content. Life has been busy. Not going to lie.
Yeah,
But it is just going to start slowing down here soon.
should be. So, I'm wanting to do more video. I'm wanting to do a lot more YouTube videos where during the week we might not have so like this we have our main podcast for the week where we recap everything, we go over places. But you got a cough button over there or something? Jeez, don't think anybody wants to hear that.
Yeah, you'd still hear it.
But but I definitely do want to do more YouTube videos during the week. That seems to be where you guys like tuning into, watching our YouTube videos. So,
Yeah.
which I would prefer to be a YouTube star anyways.
Yeah.
Become-
You have a face for radio.
Become one of the yeah, right. I've heard that my whole life. That's an old white man joke. Till I became good looking.
But yeah, for sure, we're gonna try to push out more content.
Let us know what y'all want us to talk about.
Yeah, I would
We've
love-
got some ideas. My personal favorite, we've only done one episode so far, was of the gambling podcast.
Yeah.
I love that kind of stuff.
We're gonna do more of that. We just gotta get more time.
Yeah.
So if y'all donate to our Cash App, we could just quit our jobs
Shoot.
and give y'all information every single day.
If any of y'all listening is a banker and wants to give us a no payback loan, gladly, I'll do it. I'll quit my job tomorrow.
No, you won't.
I would!
I'll fire you.
Okay. I don't care. Semantics. That's all that is. I have people feel bad for me that I got fired.
Anyways.
No womp womp music for me, alright? I'm not going to say it on here for sympathies.
So Friday.
Sorry, folks, I'm kidding.
Dang.
I'm
Shots
kidding.
fired.
It's a joke.
Literally. So Friday I have my daughter's basketball game.
You said
But-
that like you do not want to go.
No, I do. She's a little hooper. But afterwards, we're gonna have a late night sesh. Cameron's gonna come over, and we're gonna go at it with some football difficult conversations. And he doesn't even know what the conversations are gonna be about. I'm just gonna throw him out there.
One topic that will be. You know what? No, it's not going to be off limits. I have so much in my arsenal. These idiots want to talk about Jalen Hurts versus Dak, which is stupid. It's stupid to even entertain the thought, but I have so much ammo I could go at.
We might even bring up how Dak dropped in Green Bay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Say that? No.
Oh,
English.
When Dak dropped the ball in Green Bay, I might just like play that on the TV and we analyze this play.
I don't
Not
remember.
Dak,
what you said.
Dez
Okay,
dropped.
gosh, I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, why are you looking at me like
I
that?
was like,
Dez. Sorry, I was thinking of two terrible Cowboys players.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, geez, when did Dak drop the
Dez.
football?
So sorry, I apologize.
That's not even.
I was like, what in the? Why are you looking like that? Like I'm crazy.
The only people who think Dez didn't catch it are Green Bay.
Did you
Packers.
see
Dez
the
literally-
thing? Did you see what Dak's?
Dez.
Why? It's 'cause there's
similar.
3 letters.
It's similar.
Did you see what Dez said to Mike McCarthy?
And yeah,
He
and
said
McCarthy
he
knew.
caught it.
He didn't deny it, did he? They literally changed the rule at the end of the season.
That's just because
Of course he caught
off
it.
the NFL.
If you have to change a rule, that's because you
Yeah.
know you got
So,
the original one
Obviously,
wrong.
you're getting a sneak peek of what these conversations are going to be about.
If
They're
you
gonna
like
be
to hear us
awesome.
yell at each
I'm
other.
even going to bring on like Drew,
Oh gosh.
Colin,
Oh gosh.
all sorts of people. For Aaron, we can bring on
I
Taco.
don't think Aaron wants to, but we
Oh.
can try.
We can bring on Aaron.
This is what Aaron will say if he gets on here. Dak sucks. Dak sucks. Even
I
as a
think-
Cowboys fan.
I think
What Cowboys fan at this point doesn't like
But
Dak?
I live for confrontation, so I think it's going to be good.
You're gonna have to tell me what the topic is so I can get my ammo. Dak, I don't need it. I already know what it is. I've
Yeah.
already got it.
He looks like he throws a shock put football.
I don't know what you're talking about. Did you not watch the game yesterday? Dak has an arm.
Yeah.
Dak can fit the ball in tight windows.
I can't wait till Friday. Anyways, I appreciate you listening. I know Cameron does also. Follow us, subscribe to us on YouTube. We are really trying to grow our subscribers so we can push out more content for you guys and gals. Anyways, you're listening to Cave Chatter. We appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Justin.
And I'm Cameron.
Later.
Peace.